I love you. Hey, all you people! Thank you so much for coming back here. I'm so happy to see y'all come through that front door every single Monday and Thursday.
Yeah, this is
going to be a low energy, high octane excitement podcast today. I just got off work. Yeah, I got off work. My dog's having body issues and just irritate me like she always does. And but no, I am the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
And I am the Faceless Leone. I'll try to keep the energy up there. I will be the pistons firing for your octane fuel. So, speaking of going fast, which isn't in this title, it's Furious 7. That's what we're talking about.
No, yeah, this one is all about being furious. There's no speed needed.
I don't think I said that this is Green and Faceless on the Couch, and it's a podcast. Did you know that?
I did not. I kind of just thought we were just talking.
Oh, shit.
I forgot this meant something to people.
I've been recording us and sharing it with the internet, and we talk about movies and TV.
Oh, man. So that's why I'm getting all the damn spam calls now.
Oh, yep.
Government trying to locate me again.
Those fucking bastards. I mean, Area 51 was great and all. I mean, they have some of the best internet speeds that you'll ever see, which is pretty amazing.
Right, it's pretty good shit
for the desert. But,
yeah.
God, I just don't understand. Like, you feel like you go around where there's more people, and yet still, those internet companies, who I've decided not to name so we don't get sued, what the hell, man? They're just the worst.
They really are, man.
Like, you pay so much money for such and such speed, and you hardly ever get that much. It never really. Right. Yeah, I don't think I ever have.
Yeah, the version I have, I won't say their name either, because, again, we don't want to be sued. But they promise a certain speed, especially for gaming. And I get that speed maybe once half a year.
Yeah.
Most of the time I'm well below, and it's like very laggy, and I'm sitting there like apologizing to everybody because I'm trying to play Rocket League, and the ball was 3 feet away from where I thought it was because of how I'm viewing it with the laggy internet connection. It's beautiful. It's good shit. It's good shit. But you know what is good shit? Furious 7. How about that for a segue?
It really is. That's not a bad segue, but I'm going to take it away in a different direction because I want to talk about my car. I bought a car. I bought a Vrooom car, everybody.
You bought a Vrooom?
I bought a Vrooom. So my Buick broke down. So I bought a 2009 Volkswagen GTI Mach 5. And when I was buying it, I didn't actually realize the guy was selling it for really cheap, and it was a pretty good car. There's really not that much wrong with it. He just needed to be out of the car for some legal reasons. But anyhow, I didn't know it was such a well-loved car until after I bought it. Yeah, and it's a lot of fun to drive.
You're part of a community now.
I'm part of a community now that I will never communicate with. But if they hear this, I do enjoy the car. It's a lot. It is very fun to drive. It is my first manual transmission vehicle. I kind of taught myself how to drive stick, but I know how the theory worked from driving the ATVs and stuff, back in the desert at Area 51. And we're qualified
to drive most government-issued military vehicles.
That's right, yes. Helicopters, man, they're fun.
A lot of it came from our people. They stole a lot of ideas from the Gorshans, the fuckers.
Those fuckers, I know.
These fuckers. And then they planted data, like fake data, and it's just like, no, we didn't steal anything. Like, Leonardo da Vinci was thinking about this all the time, like, long time ago. It's like, bullshit. Bullshit. That's fake.
Yeah. Somebody...
Fucking governments.
I mean, I have a hard time pronouncing Gorshian names, but it was during the Gorshian Renaissance that you guys came up with helicopters.
Yeah. It's a pretty fun time. Yeah. I miss those days.
So Vrooom 7.
We are talking. Yeah, I mean, actually, no, actually, before that, my car's having issues. Let's talk about my car a little bit. You talked about yours. I'm pissed off with my car because it's decided it's going to act up, too. My dog's acting up with her body. My car's acting up with its body. Like, my body's always acting up. Like, it's just, fuck this, man. Like, it makes me so mad that I'm feeling this, like, grouchy when we're talking this film.
Yeah.
Because this film, this is the epitome of the franchise. Like,
oh, don't tell me that. I haven't seen the other two.
I'm just saying. I mean, you might like them much more. I don't know.
This one was good.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be really hard to top this film. This film is just so much fucking fun, all tossed together into like the most fun basket ever.
I know, man.
It's exciting.
It is ridiculous, but it is just the right kind of ridiculous the whole time. I absolutely enjoyed the ride from start to finish. I don't know if knowing about Paul Walker beforehand made my eyes look at it a little bit differently, but I did really enjoy this movie.
Yeah, this movie has like that the same morbid effect that The Last Jedi had, where, you know, during the making of the film, Carrie Fisher passed away, and so when you watch The Last Jedi, you kind of in the back of your mind you have that dark thought. It's like, how are they going to do her? Like, how are they going to handle this? How are they going to kill her character off or get rid of her? Or what are they going to do? What's the plan?
Yeah.
And so you watch this entire thing, and like, you know, when she gets sucked out of that air vent, it's like, oh fuck, that doesn't seem respectful at all. And it's just like it's just a jarring moment. And it's the same way with Furious 7. You kind of, because he died. Was it during the making of Furious 7, or was it
during the making of this movie? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and you kind of watch the whole thing just like whenever there's like a car accident or he's about to do a dangerous stunt or something, you're just like, oh no, is this it? Is this how they're going to handle it? And I will say up front, I won't spoil how they handle it, but I will say that it is the most respectful and well-handled character departure of any franchise I've seen. Yeah, it's really well done. And from my knowledge, how they handle it going forward, too, is still respectful. I don't remember feeling upset in later films, but we'll
see. We'll see what happens in FX.
Yeah, I've only seen Fate of the Furious and Hobbs and Shaw once, so I don't really know, and I still haven't seen F9, so who fucking knows. But like, yeah, I don't remember my overall thoughts on those films. I remember they didn't really wow me, but they were also the first ones I saw in the theater.
Sure.
So I feel like if I watch them on the smaller screen, I might have a lot more fun.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm going to have anywhere near as much fun as I had with Furious 7, man. Because, okay, so here's the thing with Furious 7. Let's actually get into this. It's new director. We got a new director. Justin Lin stepped out for a little bit. We got James fucking Wan came in. The Conjuring, Insidious, Saw, horror master James Wan comes in to do Furious 7. This action drama comedy, like, just it is like a pile of garbage that is polished into a giant gold nugget. Yeah. Like, it's amazing.
I enjoyed almost even the things that I was like, what the fuck? I love.
Right. There's a lot of what the fuck moments in this movie. And like his directing of it all is so well done. Like the whole story, we still got Chris Morgan back who wrote it. You know, he's still on board from like movie number 2 or whatever. And it's just amazing that, you know, this script is kind of jumbled. There's a lot going on in it.
Right.
You know, it is nonstop. Something new is happening. Yes. And, you know, the gang, I keep saying that, the family, the family they're being targeted by our new villain, Deckard Shaw, who is also one of the greatest villains ever. Like, I'm just saying it. Deckard Shaw I fucking love I don't like actually love Jason Statham. There's a lot of movies of his that I'm like, yeah, that was good. Yeah. He did a good job. He was fun. But most of the time I'm never wowed by his performance. I'm wowed by his performance here.
There's this movie from his youth.
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yes. I just watched that for the first time, I don't know, a few months ago. And I gotta say, I was not expecting anything of that movie to be anything that it was. We should talk about
Right.
it sometime because it's an interesting flick.
Yeah, we could always do a Guy Ritchie threesome too, like because that's Guy Ritchie, I believe. I think that's the thing with Jason Statham. If he has a great director, he is amazing.
Yeah.
If he has a decent director, he is still great, but he is not as great as he could.
He's just Jason Statham in those movies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And here, he's Deckard Shaw. He is fucking phenomenal. He is a threat. You know, we had, what was his name in the last one? It was Shaw also, but who was the Luke Evans? That was the actor.
Okay.
Luke Evans.
I thought you were looking for the character's first name, and I'm like, I don't fucking know.
No. He was just Shaw. He was just Shaw. I don't remember what his first name was. Deckard Shaw is more Hubert Shaw. William Howard Shaw. And it's but he was like cool and intimidating and really, you know, and, you know, he was a threat.
Yeah.
He was something to be contended. And then Deckard Shaw comes in. And like the first time you see him, he is in a hospital area, and he's talking on the phone to somebody. And as once he hangs up, he walks through the hospital, and you see the utter destruction around him.
Right.
It's just like people are lying on the ground. Some of them are dead. Some of them are like broken and groaning.
Right.
Shit's falling down from the ceiling. Like light fixtures and everything are coming down. And then like something blows up in the background, and then he blows everything up. And it's just like. Yeah, you get the impression this is not a fucker you mess with.
Yeah.
He is even more dangerous than his brother. He is even more behind the scenes than his brother, which seems impossible from what they set up.
Well, so it seems like, I don't know how much of a spoiler. It's talked about pretty early on. But his brother, he was definitely super secret into the criminal world, while Deckard is a legitimate government assassin, but gone wrong. Like, he's been rogue for a while. But that was the government's choice. Like, they decided he was too dangerous.
Exactly. He had to be banned.
Yeah.
Or no, what's it called? Burned. He had to be burned.
Yeah, that's it.
I had to get my spyling
right.
They
say in the movie that they sent their 6 best, and they never returned.
So one of the fun things about Jason Statham, and I can't remember if he was the actor who asked this, but like, there's an actor in the Fast and Furious franchise who like said, my character, I want my character to never lose a fight. And Jason Statham, technically, I don't think he actually loses a single fight in this movie. Maybe at the end there might be, but when he goes up against, the first person he goes up against after that opening intro, of course, is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah, that scene was pretty good.
Yeah, you see it and you're just like, okay, we can clearly see who's going to win this. And then Deckard starts fighting and you're just like, oh, this is more even than I expect. You know, It's like nothing against Dwayne Johnson. Like, I'm sure in real life.
But his characters, Hobbs is supposed to be like a super badass.
Exactly. Yeah. And seeing Deckard Shaw take Hobbs on, you're just kind of like, oh, fuck, this guy is more crazy than I thought he was. Yeah. Like, there's a lot more to this than... He does some questionable decisions mid-combat that put his own health at risk. And you're just like... Holy fuck, this guy he just wants to win this fight.
He's kind of crazy. I mean, like, we thought that, you know, the other Shaw was intense, but Jesus.
Yeah, Deckard's real intense. And he also has a really good sense of humor. He can throw in some good one-liners like nobody else.
Oh yeah, I remember I texted you while I was watching it. I said, we should make a movie called One-Liners, where it's all one-liners.
That is this whole movie. Vin Diesel's dropping the one-liners. I don't remember if Paul Walker might have dropped a few one-liners, but like
he misses the bullets.
And then Tyrese Gibson is still the exact same like exposition dump. Like, I'm gonna find a way to summarize everything that's going on in a very nerdy one-liner that's gonna please everybody, and he does so, and it's phenomenal. Like, I
have in these last 3 movies have just grown to love him so much more each step of the way. And I honestly enjoy the second movie more, I think, than the first movie. So I'm glad that they brought him back.
Now that you know more of Roman's character, it makes that one much more enjoyable, I think. There's also, I've been almost forgetting about it, there's also Kurt Russell. He comes into the franchise. Yeah. And it's very exciting. He plays Nobody, Mr. Nobody, I believe is his name.
Not the Jared Leto flick.
No, not the Jared Leto flick. And I mean, again, I haven't actually seen the Jared Leto flick, but given my personal feelings on Jared Leto, I think I might like Kurt Russell's Mr. Nobody a lot more.
Maybe. It is a pretentious film, I'll say that, but I thought it was very interesting.
Well, I'm definitely interested in watching it sometime. But the Mr. Nobody here, he is I guess, like, he's kind of the reason for the meat and potatoes of this movie. Like, he comes in and hires Vin Diesel and the family.
Well, I don't know if hire is the right term.
No, not really.
Yeah, I don't. He's giving them whatever they need to do it. Though I do remember one time, at one point, Roman is like, "Are we getting paid?"
Yeah, because that's where this movie like takes a whole another like left turn for me is when Kurt Russell comes in, because up until then it's kind of just Vin Diesel versus Jason Statham. You know, Jason Deckard Shaw is killing the family or attacking the family, right. and Vin Diesel's like, I'm putting an end to this right now.
Right.
And then Kurt Russell comes in and is like, you know what? You're having a lot of problem handling Deckard Shaw. Right. The man is impossible to find. But there is this beautiful little MacGuffin that we're looking for called God's Eye that will help you find anybody almost instantaneously on the planet. Yeah,
I kind of feel like, what's that organization within the government that got shut down because of the Snowden thing? What was his organization?
NSA?
NSA, yeah. I always want to say NCIS, and I know that's the...
Yeah. I don't remember if it got shut down or not, but it might have been shut down.
I thought it got shut down.
It might have been like shut down, I say with air quotes. Okay. Yeah.
I was kind of wondering how those air quotes would come out.
Yeah, we're no longer spying on you, I promise.
I promise. Now it's just Instagram.
Yeah, he's part of some weird government agent that might be the NSA, honestly, right. But they're hunting this God's Eye.
He said that there's been a war going on. There's been a war going on between shadows and ghosts like me. That was my Kurt Russell impersonation. I don't know if it was any good.
It was all right. I'll give it to you. I love Kurt Russell. He was like one of the best actors ever.
I was super surprised, like you said. It was like out of nowhere.
So that's the thing. He's one of those actors that, like, I've seen these movies, but I still forget he's part of the franchise. Like Gal Gadot, I forget she was part of the franchise. I forget Kurt Russell was part of the franchise. And it's just, I know there's another one I'm thinking of that I can't come up with right now, but there's just so many little actors in this that's just like, oh yeah, you were in this. I'm so much more excited again. And I didn't think that was possible because I was already pissing my pants with excitement. But he comes in. He doesn't technically hire the family, but he coerces the family to help the government get God's Eye from the other villain of this movie, played by, and I'm probably going to pronounce the name wrong, so I apologize up front, Djimon Hounsou. I love that actor. He is just a fabulous actor. I don't remember the villain's name, but he is the current owner of God's Eye. He has it, something like that. He's transporting it. I can't remember.
So, yeah, he... Should we mention Ramsey? We'll just call them Ramsey. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's played by who is she again?
Nathalie Emmanuel.
Nathalie Emmanuel. She's a lot of fun too.
Yeah, she is fun. They definitely have some moments where they're being the Fast and Furious saga.
Yeah, where they're exploiting her body 100%.
For sure.
But those moments were made hilarious though by Chris Ludacris Bridges and Tyrese Gibson's arguing back and forth. What's his name? Tej is Ludacris's. Yeah. Tej and Roman just arguing constantly. It's so fucking funny. And then they do build up a nice little romantic angle between Tej and
because
Natalie.
They're both tech whizzes.
It's not Natalie. What's her character name?
Her character name is Ramsey, but I don't know if they ever gave her like a second name or not.
You had said it, and I was like, damn it, what was the name? I couldn't remember. I'd said it myself. Like, fuck. This is how tired I am, people. Like, everything's just wiped.
Hey, man, that's how I was when we did that Jungle Cruise episode. I really was out of it. Well, thank you, right. Couch Potatoes. I think it did end up being a good episode. I hope you agree.
And if you do agree, we might as well say right now that if you agree so much that you find yourself with a little bit of extra cash you're not going to do anything with, and you like the show so much that you want to help us out, support us, help us get new equipment, better audio coming towards you, all that kind of fun stuff, you can go to patreon.com/greenandfaceless.
That is correct.
Yes.
Patreon.com/greenandfaceless. A&D, just not an ampersand, A&D.
Not a fucking ampersand.
Yeah, when you search for our show, it's a little screwy. When you search for our show on like Spotify or whatever you listen on, it is an ampersand. But
we do ampersands.
But they wouldn't let me. If I recall, they wouldn't let me do it for the Patreon. So
those bastards. Sorry, Patreon. You're not bad. Sorry. I take it all back.
The bills.
Thank you.
Bastards.
You bastards. No, but seriously, we do really appreciate the support. And if you don't want to, if you're not able to, or if you don't want to pitch in, you can always go and leave us some ratings, some comments.
Yeah.
Where can they do that at?
Well, you can go to Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star, 4-star, I guess, if you only kind of like it.
Yeah.
Greenie grades on a 4-star scale, so that's a perfect.
It's true,
score
but you don't have to. You can go to 5 stars. You can go above me,
above and beyond.
Yeah, Gorsh is weird though. We just have a 4 system. Everything's done in 4s.
Yeah, well, that's because the atmosphere is so thick that you can only see 4 stars in the night sky.
Yeah, plus we got those 4 moons, and it just blends off from there.
4s they work. In fact,
we love it so much.
In fact, the whole planet is a flat square. I've been there.
That's true. That was a well-kept secret for a long time, but that's all right. You can go ahead.
I'm sorry. Their world is flat, but the Earth is a globe.
The Earth is totally a globe. Yeah, don't. Yeah. Believe the lie.
Okay, well, so Fury 7, I do want to talk about the stunts, and the first one here, the first really crazy scene. It might be the craziest scene they've done so far, but they top it in the same movie.
They top it like 3 times in the same movie. Yeah. Well, maybe just twice. They top it like twice.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first one is, as we said, Jimon Hansu, he's got the God's Eye. The family's going to get it, and they decide, because I guess they're transporting it across a mountain or something. I don't remember what's going on.
I think their base is on a mountain, and they...
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe they know that they just grabbed Ramsey. And I didn't quite catch that part either, but I know that there's a complex on top of the mountain. I don't think we ever get to the top of the mountain.
I don't think so either. I think it starts in the middle and goes down.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
But it's just like they have this hilarious scene where the family's trying to figure out how to get at this complex, how to get at the God's Eye, and eventually it boils down to Roman making a really hilarious and stupid suggestion, and then the family goes through with it. They're like, we can do that. We're the family, man. Like, of course we can do this.
So did we tell them what they did?
We haven't yet. What they do is parachuting cars.
Oh my God.
They drop all of these cars out of airplanes so that they can bypass all of the security on this mountain and land perfectly in a well-secure spot, I guess. to get at the fucking God's Eye.
Due to complications, I'll say, Roman Pierce, he parachutes into some trees, and so is not a part of the scene for a good majority of it, but then pops back in later. It's pretty
And
great.
when he pops back in, it's a great moment. You're just like, fuck yeah, Roman. You're like, you followed through, man. It's glorious, and it's just the first action scene or the first ridiculous scene though, that you're just sitting there laughing at it, and you're just like, this is so stupid. I fucking love this. Like, oh my God, this is what this movie will be known for. This is it. Well, then we go to where do they go to? Where are those towers at?
Oh, Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi. They go to Abu Dhabi. Yes. And they're trying to collect some kind of computer thing out of a car. I can't remember the reasoning for it. Again, that's the thing about this movie. The little plot beats, like what's important, what's going on, who the fuck cares? You're there for the action. Yeah. And this movie nails that so well, because it's like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm enjoying the fuck out of it.
Hey, we got to see everybody, the family, in some really nice attire. I mean...
Yeah. They all look spiffy as fuck.
Yeah, Dom's in a tux, but refuses to put the top button and put on a tie. And and Letty, right. Michelle Rodriguez, the dress they chose for her was awesome. That was beautiful.
And then she gets to fight. Is it Ronda Rousey? Who is she fighting? Who's the crazy awesome bodyguard? I might be wrong. I just honestly don't know.
I don't remember if they ever gave this character a name.
Yeah, she might just be listed as bodyguard or something.
Yeah, so
Abu Dhabi guard. Whoever she is, if you can't find her, that's fine. But like whoever she is a badass. And it's a lot of fun to watch Michelle Rodriguez fight her, because Michelle Rodriguez, Letty, super outclassed. So she has to use her brain like super hardcore to overcome this obstacle. And it's, you get to see her do a lot of fun shit that we haven't gotten to see her character do. It's like
true. I mean, like in the first movie, she's really just Dom's arm candy.
Yeah,
that goes and does these heists with him. But yeah, it's just more and more they're doing really well with making their female characters actual characters.
And they do a great job with Letty here, because not wanting to spoil too much, but like she is struggling with memory loss in this film. And it's very cliche how they handle it, and it's kind of silly, but it's still emotionally impactful. Like it delivers the sensations you want from this kind of a storyline in an action film, especially. And so it's just kind of like a very long, dragged out subplot, but it gives a lot to her character, and I really appreciate it for that. Because she gets to shine a lot in this movie.
Yeah, and like you said, it might be silly at the end, but it's sweet. And the ending of this movie is really sweet and heartfelt. I really appreciate the end of this movie. Like, if this was a standalone movie, this honestly might work as a standalone movie.
Well, you need the setup of the sixth one.
Yeah, you need to set up all the characters, of course. But if you set it up, if you did it like a heist movie and like they were on that you do like add like 20 minutes where they're doing a mission together, and then all of a sudden Shaw's mad at them and wants revenge. And I think that just the plot points and the way that it was handled, this movie could potentially work by itself.
Yeah.
But it obviously is tied in with these other movies.
Yeah, that's my problem, is like I feel like this movie actually needs those first six, because as ridiculous and silly as a lot of this is, I think it needs those first like lesser silly movies to set it up. Because if you came to the number 7 by itself, you're gonna watch this and be like, I don't know why people like this. It's ridiculous and silly, and I enjoy it, but like this is so over the top.
Yeah.
But then you see all the setup of it, and you're just like, oh. We jumped the shark a long time ago. They're still impressing us.
Yes.
But like, I mean, it does work as by itself. But I personally feel like if I'm going to watch number 7, I at least want to watch, let's say, 1, 2, 5, 6. I want to at least watch those ones. I don't hate number 4, but it's very derivative of the others.
Sure, it is a good jumping off point if you're not going to watch the first 3. Because
exactly.
It sets up the whole new relationship between Dom and Brian.
Right, and then just to get back to where we were with Letty and the guard, though, they have a lot of fun in Abu Dhabi, but the real fun is in Brian and Dom trying to steal this like computer chip from a car, and eventually they run out of time. There's this huge party going on. This rich guy, this rich huge oil salesman or whatever. Yeah, he is. He's having this huge party, and he has one of only 7 types of this one car in the world. And, you know, it just wows the fuck out of Paul Walker, but he's just like, oh God, we have to do this. we have to steal a piece out of this car. But he's like, he still admires it. He's in love. Right. Dom's like, it's a job. I don't fucking care about this car.
That's what his like assistant or something calls it.
Yeah. And like, I'm totally going to spoil this action scene because this is what the movie is known for. If anybody talks about this movie, one of the first things they do is talk about this scene. And when they run out of time, when they have to, they've run out of time. They're not going to be able to steal the chip out. Dom's like, fuck it. We're stealing the car. So they get in the car and they're driving. And again, they're in those really fucking tall towers in Abu Dhabi. I don't know the names of the towers, either, but they're really high up. And like, it's iconic image. Like if you've definitely seen it before, if you've looked at anything like the most beautiful things in the world, right. Like that's on a lot of those lists. And they're really high up. They're at a penthouse suite, like near the top. And they're driving this car around this party. A very, it's a big room for a party, but for a car, it's not that fucking big. And then, guess who shows up? Who's always been showing up? Yeah, he shows up wherever they go. Wherever they go. Everywhere they go. He is always on the family's ass. So why do they
need the God's Eye?
No, they really don't. Yeah, it's kind of bullshit. But, if they can get I think what Dom was thinking is if I can get the backing of the government, like if I can get an army behind me, then, fuck yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Like, he's not going to get a whole army, obviously, but like 10 guys with guns, that's fine. I mean, Deckard could easily take them all, but still.
Yeah, he's some kind of inhuman creature.
Right. And he shows up. He's at the top of the tower, and he bursts into the party. He crashes the party, if you will. And Dom's bright idea is, I'm gonna fucking drive this car into the next building. Oh man, I fucking love it because you get Paul Walker's reaction. He's just like, Dom,
no,
Dom. No, cars don't fly, Dom. Cars don't fly. Oh man, it's so good. And they just burst out the fucking window and fly into the next building. And they don't stop there. No, they don't stop there.
And I think also Dom gives the line, "There's no brakes."
Yeah, the brakes are gone. They're shot.
So the car is in the building, and they think that's a shame to start with. Because, it's a fast car. It should be raced. And
it's a fast car, and it's one of only 7 of its kind in the world.
Right. It's like keeping an animal in the cage. I think one of them relates it to that. But
and then later, Vin Diesel says, it's time to free the beast. When they steal the car.
That's some fucking great lines. Okay, I want to jump into one thing I wanted to talk about. So I feel like Vin really thought he was trying real hard. So I apologize if that's the case. But there's some faces he makes that just cracked me up so much. Like, he's looking at the camera. He's looking at the ground, and his eyes come up to the camera, and he's got like this really pouty face on. And I don't even remember what it was for.
It's probably like he just heard like Han had died or something. Maybe. He was just like, no.
It's like sad angry is what he was going for. It was great.
Yeah, he's not the greatest of facial actors. If it's anything but anger, he is fabulous at ferocity.
Yes, and he gets to be ferocious in this. The Ferocious is 7.
So much furiosity. I don't know if I want to spoil anything else because the action, the setup, everything is so much fun.
It is.
Everything with the government's a lot of fun. There is one last scene I want to talk about, though, personally. There might be more that you want to talk about, of course. But the one last scene I want to talk about is the finale fight. I'm not going to say everything that's going on because there's
one particular part about that for sure.
Okay. And the part I want to talk about specifically is just the final fight, fist to fist, between Vin Diesel and Deckard. I was going to say Deckard Shaw, but if I'm going to say Vin Diesel, it's Jason Statham.
There you go.
My whole brain just shut down trying to find Jason Statham's name. Anyways,
punch. He's the punch.
So earlier in the movie, there is a game of chicken between Deckard Shaw and Dom Toretto. And it is a hilarious moment because you're like, are they really doing this? This is kind of childish. And it's just like, they go fucking nose to nose with their cars, and you find out that Deckard Shaw has reinforced his car with like steel. It's like super powered. It's a tank. And so, it hurt Dom. Dom's like, fuck. Well, we're going to call back to that because if anything, the Fast and Furious franchise is a Dickensian story.
Yes.
So we are going to call back. We're going to call back to that, and they're going to have a second game of chicken. But guess what? Dom's learned his fucking lesson now. So they hit each other. They get out of their cars. They're like, oh, we both reinforced our chassis, huh? And it's just like, all right, well, now it's a street fight. And so Jason Statham pulls like they're not rebar, but he pulls like these two metal like jagged pieces off of his car.
Yeah, they're just like strips of aluminum or something.
He just peeled it off the car. It's like, okay, cool. That's badass. I don't know. It's just so funny. And then Dom reaches into his back seat where he's got two gigantic fucking wrenches.
Yeah,
are they?
They're
I think
wrenches.
it was wrenches.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And yeah, and it's just like, why were you carrying those? Like, what was did you expect this exact moment to happen?
Well,
Apparently he did.
So, he did in the first movie. In the first movie, he had just gotten back from prison from beating a guy nearly to death with a wrench.
Oh, that's right.
So
those are his weapons.
Those are his weapons of choice.
And then what's the fight? You had a name for it? I couldn't remember what it. You said it was Filipino.
Yeah, it's a Filipino. I can't remember. It's machete fighting is what it is. But they teach it in a lot of acting courses because it's really useful for stage combat. Because you could pretty much use the method for any weapon.
Because it's just like dual wielding swords and just attacking each other, and it's
right.
But here we have metal bars of some sort and wrenches, and it's fucking anime as fuck, and I love it. Like, it's so great, dude. It's that whole fight. You feel everything that happens because it's so ludicrous. If somebody gets hit by a wrench that big,
Tej isn't in this scene.
No, I didn't. I never said Tej.
You said ludicrous. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's ludicrous. Gotcha. Yeah, you threw me all off. My brain doesn't work that well. But no,
I fucked you up. Okay, it's very.
Oh no! Somebody gets hit. Somebody gets hit by a wrench like that.
Right.
They're not getting back up to fight again.
No.
Especially if Vin Diesel's the one wielding the wrench. It's just so funny, but it's like you feel all the hits, all the slaps, everything that's going on. Like, other shit, outside obstacles like come into play, and it is just over the top great.
It's fantastic.
I fucking love that. And include all of the stuff going around it, that climactic fight scene between them. The family's off doing their own shit.
Right.
And it's just that whole finale just carries me through this movie. Yeah. It's like 2.5 hours or something like that. But it never feels it.
The part I want to talk about is the Ramsey switch.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is another stunt that they do. That is true. But the first one, where they ride the cars so close to each other and then hit their e-brakes so that they perfectly do reverse 180. I guess they're not doing a reverse 180. They do a 180 anyways. They're physics magicians, we all know.
Right.
While their car doors for that split second are perfectly aligned, they throw this woman into the other vehicle. And the first thought through my head is, why would you even plan that? If any mistake, she's cut in half. If she's not cut in half, she doesn't even make it out the door. Like, what the fuck? Why? And she didn't know it was going to happen. They just did it.
No. Yeah, that's the thing. It wasn't even planned. It was just like a gut instinct, like, we can do this. Let's do this. And oh my God, it's fucking crazy. And again, as I alluded to, it's not the only Ramsey switch. They do more things. The other ones aren't as crazy as that one. I wouldn't say.
I don't think so.
But like, yeah, that first one is just bonkers. There's so many things they make her do that I'm like, oh man, if I was in her shoes, I would not be able to do that.
And she even says that she trusts them at some point.
Yeah. But like when they first get her, when they first free her from her captivity from like the people who had kidnapped her, they toss her onto the fucking hood of a car going like 70.
Jesus. Yeah. I forgot about that.
And then she's just stuck on that hood for like a whole fucking 10 miles. Like she's just swinging back and forth while Vin Diesel's trying to pull her in, but has other issues going on. It's just, there's so many things that poor woman has to do that it's like, damn girl, you are brave as fuck.
That reminded me two things of that scene that I kind of wanted to just mention real quick. So Paul Walker, I believe what he brings to the family is that he's the stuntiest. That's what, and it's not just his like cop training. He's willing to do the stupidest shit.
well, also too, it's like he is also willing to do the dumbest shit. But his Paul Walker's ability to do a fight scene, is really it's really good. Fighter, like I feel like a lot of people don't give him credit for that because like he goes up against a lot of people in this film that you would not think he has a chance against.
Right, including his name is Tony Jaa, I believe is his name. So he's a really good martial artist for this film anyways. I haven't seen anything else, but it was really cool fighting sequence.
There is from his native country, I can't remember where he's from, sadly, but there is a fighter movie that I might just add in a blurb after I say this. Okay. To give it the credit because it's phenomenal. Tony Jaa is an awesome fighter actor. Like
he's really cocky, like Bruce Lee. At least this particular character was,
and like he kind of has that in the film I'm thinking of too, which sadly again I can't remember the name of right now. But I love him, and I'm happy to see him in Fury 7 because I had forgotten he was in this. Another actor that I couldn't remember.
Right.
Someday we'll have to do a fighter movie and we'll have to include that Tony Jaa film because I remembered enjoying the fuck out of it. The action scenes are crazy. If you are curious to check out that Tony Jaa movie, it is Ong Bak Muay Thai Warrior, and there are actually 3 of them, so maybe a threesome in this future for us. But he fights Paul Walker in this, and you know that's a fight that you see it and you're just like, Paul Walker's gonna lose, and the way they choreograph it. He really doesn't stand a chance. But Brian just, because of his cop training and just because of who he is, he does take advantage of any opportunity that's given to him.
Definitely.
So if he's thrown down next to something, he's going to use that. If he gets that advantage, he uses it. And the way they choreographed it, every fight makes sense. Yeah. And the way Paul Walker stages it, everything makes sense. Like, he does a great freaking job in the action scenes.
All of the action, even how crazy it is, I felt that it was very believable until that switch scene. And then it got crazier from there. Like when Dwayne Johnson is driving that ambulance. Like that.
Oh my god. Dude, yeah, okay. That scene actually kind of does make me mad because there's no way he knows. This is a little spoilery. So let's say there is an enemy combatant in play that is driving. It is underneath a tunnel, and it's about to emerge from that tunnel. And Dwayne Johnson just drives through the barricade over that tunnel and falls onto that enemy combatant. How did he know? How did he time that? It's fucking ridiculous. It's a great moment though. It's so fucking hilarious.
Hey, I got one better than that though. It's
It's
Rox Machina.
Nice. That was, actually, to go into my closing statement, I don't really have many gripes with this film, like any gripes.
No, it's too enjoyable.
Yeah, if I feel like if I did have any, it would be that Dwayne Johnson is kind of sidelined early on and then comes back for that finale scene. But they do a really good job at it, and it really kind of boosts the Deckard Shaw character also. Right. You're kind of just like, oh man, he is not somebody to be fucked with.
Right. He's a vehicle to show how talented Deckard Shaw is, for sure.
Exactly. And everything about this film, though, is just fucking fun. Like, no joke, 4 stars. Like, it's easy. Because, like, I go into when I went into this franchise so many years ago, because my brother kept hounding me to do so, I would never have thought there would be a 4-star film in this franchise, but Furious 7, it gets all of that ridiculousness right.
Yeah.
Like, it nails everything, and you're having fun. The whole family's been set up. You don't have to spend much time setting them up. You're just having fun, enjoying them in their element. And, all the crazy action scenes, all the stupid, ridiculous stunts. Like, it is so fucking fun.
It is.
Definitely easy recommend. Like, if you haven't watched the Fast and Furious movies, it's worth it just for number 7.
Right. But I do feel like you need at least 5 and 6 to understand this stuff. But it outshines those two for sure.
Yeah.
So, do you think it's James Wan? Do you think?
I mean, personally, it's hard for me to say that because I really do love Justin Lin. Yeah. I think he does a great job directing the other films as well. But I do think James Wan brought something to this. So one thing that he definitely brought was his eye for the camera.
Oh yeah.
Because Justin Lin and his cinematographers, they've all been great. They've done a great job at capturing, again, way back in number 1 and 2, I was complaining about how they were doing these fast scenes. It's hard to watch what the cars were doing. The action scenes were muddled. It looked gross. Like, especially the racing scenes. That's what those films were, but it was hard to follow. They've nailed that from 3 on. It's been so much easier to watch the races and all of the action scenes. But when we got to the action scene here, in The Conjuring, there are those scenes where the camera turns over.
Yeah.
It's following a character and it'll follow them. It's up on the ceiling, the camera is, and it'll follow the character below them, and then it'll pan and follow them out. And, the whole camera rotates. And you got that in these action scenes and Furious 7. The camera will be locked on Jason Statham. Somebody will hit him. He'll fall into a chair and roll back over the chair, and the camera will roll with him.
Yeah. And
it's not dizzying. It's really well handled. It looks great. And it just adds to the action scenes. It gives it that little extra flair. So it probably is James Wan.
I think it could be. Not to discredit the past 3 movies that I've enjoyed fairly well. I wasn't a big fan of Fast 5, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I will say, for my closing statement, it is a face and a half movie. I agree.
Nice.
I really enjoyed it. It's not like my favorite movie of all time, but goddamn, I really enjoyed watching this movie. So I think anybody could enjoy watching it. I mean, you might not want to have your kids watch it. There's nothing really in it besides
let your kids watch it. The kids can watch it. They'll be all right.
But
they'll be okay.
It probably will be fun. There's just cursing and blood and stuff.
And some butt. There's a lot of bikini butt.
A lot of bikini butt. You know what? That was one critique I meant to mention, is that there is a lot more flesh in this one than the last couple ones.
And that's probably a James Wan thing. I feel like the flesh kind of went down with Justin Lin.
Right.
He was like, yeah, we'll still have some
because it calls to the what it was.
To the scene, yeah. But yeah, James Wan definitely seemed to we're going to have a huge party, so I need about 100 women here and only tiny thin bikinis.
Right. Well, was that our show?
I think it was our show. It's easy recommend, and we'll be back. We'll be back with Fate of the Furious.
Fate of the Furious.
They couldn't do. I've bitched about it already. I'm not gonna bitch about it anymore. We'll be back with Fate of the Furious next Monday. And ladies, men, and gentlefolk all, as I love you all so much, and I am the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
And I am the Faceless Leon. Safe travels and good night. Green and Faceless on the Couch is a proud production of FictionWorks 19. If you like the show, please show your support by rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. Like, follow, subscribe, wherever you might listen. We also now have a Patreon account. If you feel so inclined to support us in a financial manner, please become a patron by visiting patreon.com/greenandfaceless. You can also find more information about us on our Facebook account or on the FictionWorks 19 Instagram account. Thank you so much for listening.